Welcome everyone to another edition of Hardcore Wrestling Rants. I am your hardcore host Rick Head, and I'm joined by the hardcore crew. First, from the Lord Skuldron, he's Joseph Knight. Joe, what's going on?
Not much. Just got WWE 2K22, and my God, it is. It's like playing Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit before the air, before we went on air, and I got 22 for the PlayStation, and it was a pretty decent, very basic game, and that's why I liked it. I didn't want to do all these 50,000 combos, and from what you're saying, Joe, if they changed it, I'm just gonna have to wait for Fight Forever because AEW. That looks like the game I want to play. I like basic wrestling games. I don't need to play Mortal Kombat, so to speak. So, and then of course we're over at Lance Moss TV. We have the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, what's shaking?
Not much, just getting ready for Old Turkey Day tomorrow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I cannot wait for it. So, let's get going. First, this Saturday will be Survivor Series, but I want to get a few news bits out first. First, Andrade, the idiot, as Joe Lovely loves to call him, is now gone from AEW. He posted on social media.
Finally, the wrestling gods have paid attention. Santa Claus finally got all my letters, and I have been redeemed.
Well, don't hold anything back, Joe. We know how you feel. Lance, what's your thoughts on Andrade leaving?
Bye.
Yeah, well, short and sweet, guys. I guess the show's gonna be quick.
No, you know what it is? See, Lance knows. He does his response quickly because he knows I go into this long, exaggerated, overwhelming, overblown rant. By the way, guys, Terry 3Gs is in the YouTube chat room. He says, evening to all ladies and gents. Well, the lady is not here tonight.
Yeah.
She is getting her Thanksgiving turkey done, and she's also on the hunt for Moxley.
Oh, jeez.
Here we go.
Well, I'm sure that Moxley is probably stuck very well in their closet for Turkey Day. But, I'm going to be honest with getting back to Andrade. He didn't really do that much aside from causing fights in the back.
Yeah.
I can't even remember his last match or even how many matches he's been in. He was in there for, 2 years? I think he's had like 3 matches, maybe 4.
Something like that.
So, it's just, I guess, Tony Khan said, you know what, this guy's not worth it. So, and Andrade's not worth it.
Oh. You know what's funny? The amazing thing is this guy comes in, he's overhypes himself, like he's the greatest thing in the fucking world. He wasn't. Just because he married Reed Flair and he's related to now the Nate Boy by marriage, doesn't make him a fucking superstar. He can't speak English. He's wrestling his meaty fucking yokel. This guy, just doesn't have it. Let him go back to Mexico. I'm sure his visa expired, and I'm sure the immigration department is looking for him. So he let him put on his duck mask, bull mask, whatever fucking mask he was wearing, the skull mask, and let him go back to Mexico because that's all he is. That's all. Let him push one of those little burrito trucks, those little, and scream, "But yo tenía burritos, people." That's all he could do for a living because he's fucking worthless and he can't do shit. Never was anything good. And the only good thing is now he's getting his ass pumped by Charlotte Flair.
Damn.
Well, I guess we can move
Follow
on.
that up, Rick. Why don't you?
Well, you know what? We're going to follow up with during the Full Gear Media Scrum, Tony Khan was asked about the interim championship. Or the term interim, and how is he considering doing anything with it? And apparently he said that he is considering stripping Thunder Rosa of the AEW Women's Championship and removing the term interim from Jamie Hayter's championship. Now, apparently, Tony Khan has tried to reach out to Thunderstorm several times and has gotten very little or no response. Although Rosa herself stated on social media recently that she's not even ready to come back anytime soon, so I think that's kind of pushing Tony Khan's hand. What do you think, Joe?
It's about time. The interim stuff was okay. When it comes to like if a champion was injured, the storyline for it can work. You know, if you guys remember back, they didn't have an interim at the time, but when Shawn Michaels had his Intercontinental Championship because he left, and then Scott Hall, Razor Ramon at the time won the Intercontinental Championship, and they both met for belt to become the undisputed Intercontinental Champion. That serves its purpose, like Moxley did with, I guess, CM Punk. It does serve the purpose. But now, when you have an individual who is not willing to work with you, and she's not answering your calls, she's refusing to do anything be part of this company, then obviously the intern shit is out the window. Jamie Hayter put on one hell of a match. What we saw at Full Gear, she beat that half-ass wrestler Tony Storm, and now let's sweep Tony Storm back to NXT. Let her run back there. She needs to work, and have this girl become the full AEW Women's Champion. And also, she will be tonight on AEW Dynamite. So make sure everybody checks that out.
Absolutely, I'll definitely be watching Dynamite. Lynch, your thoughts on Tony Khan finally deciding to get rid of this whole interim term?
Well, I mean, from what I've seen, Thunder Rosa said something like it's going to be at bare minimum 6 months or 3 more months, like maybe, about late February, early March before she'd even be able to be in any condition to do any bumps. So, well, Tony Khan got to do what he got to do for his business.
You know, Rick, I want to chime in real quick on the Thunder Rosa situation. There was also issues that she was having backstage problems with some of the talent. So that could also be, I don't go into the full injury thing. I think this is more of she had issues backstage. I forgot, Lance, maybe remember who it was with, but I know for a fact that she had some issues with some of the talent, and they actually, that was why she left the company in the first place.
Well, from what I have heard, even in interviews, it was Britt Baker. But even Britt Baker said, we don't like each other backstage, but when we get in that ring together, we tear the house down.
And that's exactly what any professional would do. I don't care whether it be wrestling or singing or acting. You guys remember that old show, The Golden Girls, where there were two members of the Golden Girls that did not like each other. And you would not think the difference, but they were on the set. They were 100% professional. They played the role, but when it was done, they went the wrong way. Another situation is, you remember Beer Money, Cowboy James Storm and Bobby Roode. They are not really close friends.
I was going to say Brett and Sean.
Yeah, but we know that's a different thing there.
Yeah, exactly. But again, they were a great tag team. But I honestly don't see them following around, similar to FDR or the Good Brothers or any other like long-term tag teams. Of course, Road Warriors / LOD. But so again, you can be professional and work together in the ring and not like each other in the back. But when you have people like some people like CM Punk who takes all the airs of dirty laundry in front, that's when things come to a boil. But moving on. According to the Observer, the WWE has no interest in bringing back wrestler who has a controversial past. Wrestlers such as Ryback, Velveteen Dream, Alberto Del Rio are not welcome back under WWE's new management. So this really begs the question, guys. What about Sasha Banks and Naomi? Joe, what's your thoughts on that one? Is that even a possibility?
I honestly, I think when it comes to those two, their stuff is not as severe as everybody else's. I think because Naomi's married to let me rephrase that, the DOI brothers. She's married to one DOI brother, you know, the Usos. She could know kind of, and knowing how she just follows people, she doesn't have a brain of her own. I think she will be back easily. I don't think that's a problem with her. I think with Sasha Banks, that's probably a different scenario because of her ego, her thinking that she's better than everybody. I think that's a different scenario that you won't see her back. And it's good. I think they should blackball people that have caused issues. CM Punk is not going to be on. Is going to be on that list because nobody wants him.
Yeah.
Now there's actually rumors going around that the people at WWE in the back said, "No way, we don't want this bastard here." And I wish Tony Khan will stop being a mark and actually do the same thing and keep some of these people away. Hence, more former WWE guys. So honestly, I think it's a good idea. I think they need to clean out their roster and avoid bringing people. There's no Ryback is one that this is a guy that goes on out of his way, Rick, to constantly complain that he's been mistreated. So, and then airs the laundry out like, oh, you know what? I hate these people and all that. So, good idea.
All right. Well, Lance, let me kick it over to you. With the exception of Sasha and Naomi, because again, those are like the question mark bracket. What other wrestlers would you say that's you could say either troublesome or have a controversial issues that WWE would not want to touch?
Joey Ryan.
Joey Ryan, yeah, this guy is smothered in controversy. And then you also, I'd have to say, again, we talked about CM Punk.
Yeah.
So there are other wrestlers that really either weren't in the company, but Joey Ryan wasn't in the company to begin with, or if he was, I don't even remember him.
No.
Because he was over at Impact. I remember him for a very short time in AEW, and then most of the stuff was just in the indies.
I think this more pertains to people that really burned the WWE.
Oh.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think the scenario that we're going to see out of this whole, I think it makes perfect sense. Do not bring in people that are troublemakers. Yeah. Over at the YouTube channel, Terry says it's been too long. It's time to take the interim and make the current champion the permanent one, referring to Jamie Hayter. And if she's also not doing things for AEW in the first time, definitely take it away from her. That's pertaining to Thunder Rosa. He says Vagan back will never work in wrestling again with all the crap he has done on social media. I honestly, I forgot about his social media crying, Rick. That's another reason I think with a lot of these people, they're not welcome back because they take their aggression out on social media and they take it too far.
Oh, so you mean like,
Punk?
Yeah, well, not in Punk. I was going to say, what about Paige? Or Saraya. No.
Or Ryback doing all those posts on Twitter. Where should I go? This AEW, NWA, retire. Every damn body hit, retire. So,
yes.
Ryback, retire.
No, well, I was talking about Paige. We were on that subject.
Well, she should retire too. Her stupid I'm back.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd be able to get a Vivid contract.
Exactly.
Okay, so all right, so like I said, I wasn't sure if she's a possibility. I mean, she did have all that controversial stuff when she was injured. When she was also married to Alberto Del Rio, with a lot of that, all that
but I think
porn came out.
But I think in her defense, when it comes to that, and I hate to say that I'm defending her, I think in her situation, I think it was more him than her. So,
yeah.
Honestly, as much as I hate that freaking pasty white bitch herself, and hopefully that she breaks her neck sometime soon, but that situation is more like Del Rio, and I don't think Del Rio is going to be welcome back at any time.
Okay, like I said, I was just wanted to throw that one out there. I was just curious.
Oh, Terry just threw in something too. He
Okay.
says, what's going on with the Adam Page and Adam Cole scenario? I don't think they really have it. I don't think there was a problem. Was it?
No, not to my knowledge. Actually, Adam Page has been out since the Forbidden Door. What had
Yeah.
happened was he had suffered a second concussion, and that one was worse than the first. And I would report that they think that they brought him back before, like too soon, because they wanted him in Forbidden Door. So, um, unfortunately, now he's staying out longer than usual. So, hopefully he can come back. I mean, I am an Adam Cole fan, so. But as far as Cole and Page having any kind of friction, I don't know, or I wasn't aware of it. So, Lance, you also wanted to bring up another topic.
Okay. I saw this on, I believe, TMZ that after it was either the day before or the day after or the night of Full Gear that Jade Cargill and her people got into a fight in like it was either a bar or like a diner with the rapper Bow Wow, formerly Little Bow Wow when he was younger. But these two people have had honestly hate for each other for a long time, from what I understand.
Well, Cargill, she's probably right now one of the biggest women in AEW, or at least definitely I can say in professional wrestling right
Yeah.
now. She's a huge name. So let me ask you, Joe, do you think even if for her to go over there and start a fight, or any kind of altercation, would that be the smart thing to do in her place?
Not necessarily. And I get real quick. Terry says he was just wondering about their health status. I think he didn't meant that it was any friction between the two. He just wanted to know about their health status. Um, honestly, we don't know the situation. It could have been that little hip hop rapper waste of life was starting with Chitara, or you know maybe he said something to her derogatory and she took it personally and never mess with a almost 6 foot bodybuilder who can kick your ass and move around. So I don't think she's I think everybody's really high on her, and I don't think she's really, unless it was severe enough that it warrants an arrest. And let's put it that way. If it wasn't anything that severe and it was maybe an exchange of words, I don't know. I know I heard about it and I thought it was she was at a concert. She was at a concert with at one of his concerts, and maybe he said something derogatory about her. I don't know the scenario, the whole situation, but I think if it was really something big, they would have already made an announcement on it and say, hey, yeah, you know what, she fucked up. We got to get rid of her, or we're going to strip her of the title. Honestly, I don't think it's anything big. I think it was just what happens normally with celebrities. They just happen to get it at each other, and one person said something derogatory, and she just followed it up with it. So, again, not a real big issue. So, I think right now she's so high on and I don't mean high on drugs, but high on fan approval, and a lot of people credit her work. I don't think I'm going to see any changes at this moment.
No.
All right. Well, let's get over to Survivor Series. The first one was the women's Survivor Series, and of course, this is the War Games match. And I have to say, Lance, honestly, I love War Games. I know you're a fan of War Games, and but do you know if it's going to be the traditional War Games or if they're going to have WWE's own special rules to it?
Well, the only additional rules there have, I mean, yeah, they do. WWE does where both teams are in two different cages, and no big deal there. I mean, there's no roof on the top there, but it's still two rings, that big ass cage, and one person in every. It's either 2 or 5 minutes, and the only real thing that they changed format wise was it can end in pinfall.
Okay.
but it's got to wait till everybody's in.
All right. So again, I think there's probably like 2 minutes. If not, I wouldn't be surprised with WWE because they want to rush it. If it'd be 90 seconds. But again, with WWE, you never know when they want to change the rules when it comes to timing. So first for the women's team, it's going to be Bianca Belair, which and Becky Lynch, Asuka, Micha, also known as Mia Yim, and possibly Becky Lynch. And they'll take on Damage Control, which consists of Bayley, Io Sky, Dakota Kai, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley. There is also a speculation that Sasha Banks could be the fifth member instead of Becky Lynch, but right now all the rumors and everything else seems to be leading towards Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks seems to be more like wishful thinking, Joe.
Yeah, and that'd be smart not to bring her in. I think they need to showcase who they have there. I think at this point in time in the WWE, they need to push their other women talent. Becky Lynch, she's been there, the cocaine withdrawals, and I'm not saying she does. She's taking cocaine. It's just if you ever see how she acts when somebody kicks out of a pinfall, it's cocaine withdrawal. They kicked out of my move. But I like to see. I like what they're doing. They have these other girls getting involved. They don't need to muddle it with, another egotistical individual. Lord knows now that Andrade is out of work, maybe Charlotte Flair will be arriving more, and you'll probably see her too, which will be another waste of time. But I really want to see this, and I'm gonna have to. It's funny, but I'm gonna have to lean towards Bianca's team because she looks like the better, I would say, accomplished team than the other side.
All right, Lance. What's your thoughts?
Well, with the Sasha thing, honestly, the reason I think they're going there, people are suggesting that. From what I understand, Sasha, she's not from Boston, but she lives there. But yeah, I am of the opinion that it's going to be Becky as number 5. And I'm also giving it to Team Belair.
All right, and I did mess up when I said I mentioned Becky Lynch twice, and I realized that in my notes, and it's not Becky. Alexa Bliss would also be on Team Belair right now. So, but nevertheless, I'm gonna root for Team Belair as well. Damage Control right now, they have a lot of wrestlers that they do want to push, especially Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley, but unfortunately, right now, WWE seems to be pushing all the baby faces, especially the high on Bianca Belair at this point in time. So the next War Games match, it will be the Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre will take on. I'm sorry, Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre, and Kevin Owens will face the Bloodline. So finally, there's 5 people to take on the Bloodline. Now, guys, I'm gonna have to lean the other way because I don't think that they're going to have Roman Reigns or any of his Bloodline team members to lose. Now, let me ask you this one question, Joe. Do you really think at any point in time that they're going to let Roman Reigns take a pin?
No. Now, question here. Is Sami Zayn still part of that Bloodline?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is what I see out of this whole thing. First of all, they're going to hide all the drinks so the DUI brothers just not go ballistic. So you're not going to see Roman take a loss. You're not going to see the Usos take a loss. You're not going to see Sika Samoa, whatever the fuck his name is. He's not going to take a loss. The most obvious one out of this is going to be Sami Zayn taking the loss for the team. So this is where I see, because there's a lot of, in this match is going to be interesting because there's a lot of similarities between the two teams. Plus, I think Sheamus is slowly coming back up that ladder. So they need to really come down on this. So honestly, you know what? I can honestly see Sheamus' team walk away with this, and I could see them pinning Sami Zayn and possibly Sami Zayn getting kicked out of the Bloodline for losing this.
And that's a very good point. Lance, your thoughts on this?
Well, if they decide to make the Bloodline lose, it will be Sammy. But honestly, I see the heel faction winning this one. So I'm giving it to the Bloodline.
All right.
One thing I'm gonna say out of
Okay.
this too is there's no titles on the line, so I think the bloodline can take a loss here because they're not really losing anything. So again, if Sammy's the one that's gonna take, it's gonna be the one to take the loss. It's not like he's holding a title. If you pin either Uso, then they're the ones that are the tag champs. You're not going to have Roman take a pin.
Well, let
And
me
I
ask
think
you this hypothetically. Let's say if it comes down with some weird reason, or maybe somebody like one of the Bloodline members fucks up and doesn't get the chance to, and Roman Reigns is the one that gets pinned.
doubt it. I really doubt that that's going to happen. I think
Okay.
again, this is going to boil down to Sami Zayn, and they're going to really take on it. This is going to be a situation where they look at Sami and they're going to say, "You lost for the bloodline. You're not a true member. You're not true family." And that's, I can see them kicking him out, brutalizing him in the ring first of all, and then kicking him out. Because this match doesn't mean anything. This is a high quality match. Yes, this is a battle of the two teams. Now, this is a real quick question. Is this a one fall pinfall
Yes.
scenario? Okay, so yeah, then this makes perfect sense for Sammy to lose and for the bloodline to take a loss at this pay-per-view because there's nothing else going on around for them to worry about it. So this is where you're going to see them kick out Sammy. He's going to be lost and possibly re-team with Kevin Owens down the road.
Well, there was actually rumors a couple of weeks back that Kevin Owens, WWE wanted Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to get into another feud or another storyline. However, since he's been in the Bloodline over the past couple of weeks, he's really gotten over with the fans. So they might not want to kick him out. He's still on a high ride with the Bloodline. So if he does lose and it does go in the route that you say, Joe, that means his time has come. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see this Saturday. But moving on, the Ronda Rousey would defend her SmackDown Women's Championship against Shotzi. Now, I like Shotzi. I think she's a great wrestler. She's definitely sexy, but unfortunately, she's going against somebody like Ronda Rousey. I don't think Shotzi's ready for a title, and I certainly don't think she would be capable of defeating someone like Ronda Rousey, or at least the booking would not allow that, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. She just regained the title, too. They want to put her up with some credible talent. Right now, it's a good play to break away from the main people she's fighting. Liv Morgan was wow, that was an airplane crash there. She didn't draw a dime. She was in the same room of Jeff Jarrett when it comes to couldn't draw a dime. So I think honestly, you're just going to see Ronda not steamroll Shotzi, but I think Shotzi's going to get her stuff. It's going to be an ankle lock, and it's going to be, well, that's it. Match is over. It's going to be short and sweet.
All right, Lance, over to you.
As much of a Shotzi fan as I am, because I kind of dig the whole green hair and tattoos thing, but ain't no way in hell they're putting the belt on her right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, WWE logic, that's just the case. They want to keep the popular, people on top, and with the mediocre or mid-carders, so to speak, they don't know what to do. So they're going to keep on losing.
Especially when they give them that big-ass contract that Ronda has.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's move along. AJ Styles will take on Finn Balor. Now, these guys have history all the way from the Bullet Club, so these guys are going to tear the house down. This could be the dark horse of the entire show, Lance.
Yeah, I'll put it like this. This will be the non-War Games match of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. So who would you pick real quick for the win?
Oh, damn.
Now, keep in mind, Finn Balor still has Judgment Day in his back.
Yeah, and AJ still has the OC.
Very true.
Boss, that's a damn hard one. Oh,
You know what? I'll let you ponder that. How about this, Joe? Over to you. Your pick.
Well, you know what? I've been an AJ Styles mark for some time. I think he's due to get some up and comers. If you see in the list of pay per views he's participated in, he's lost quite a bunch of pay per views lately. So I think this is probably going to be his redemption to make him more credible again. Finn Balor doesn't really lose anything, but this is going to be the match of the night. I think these two are going to be the ones that stand out, go all the way out there, and they're really going to make it. They're going to really show what these two guys can do. Over in the chat room, Terry says Sheamus is overdue to retire, but yeah, it will go to the blood. He feels it's going to go to the bloodline for this win. Don't again, I don't see that, but I don't think Sheamus is ready to retire. I think he's still got some fire left in him.
All right. Yeah, as far as the Styles and Bella, like I said, it's gonna be a phenomenal match, regardless. At least that's what I'm hoping or expecting to.
No
but I'm
pun
rooting,
intended.
Yeah. But I'm rooting for AJ Styles. Okay, Lance.
It was either going one of two ways. Either both factions are going to get into a brawl and get the match thrown out, or it's going Finn.
All right.
Just because of AJ's lack of premium live events over the past couple of years.
All right. And the last match will be a triple threat for the United States Championship. It'll be Seth Rollins taking on Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory. Now, considering Seth Rollins just won this title like a couple of weeks ago, I don't see him dropping it, right away, especially somebody like Bobby Lashley or Austin Theory. Joe, your pick.
Wow. This is going to be an interesting match. I think it's going to go to Mr. Lynch here because I can't see him just losing the belt right off the bat. I think he just won it. I think they're going to save
Lynch?
it for some. Yes.
Oh.
Seth Rollins married Becky Lynch, so he's
Okay,
Mr.
well.
Lynch.
Yeah.
After all, she is the man.
Fair enough.
So-
All right.
Yeah, so we know who wears the pants in that family. So, but honestly, I think it's going to go down to it's going to be Seth holding on to this belt. I forget who. Maybe I don't know how he's faring right now, but I think Riddle was still the closest guy to get close to beating Seth Rollins. So I think they're just going to hold it off until that match comes around. So I don't think you're not going to see a title change here. I'm even going to predict that this is going to go down to Bobby Lashley taking the loss.
Really? All right, Lance. Over to you.
Actually, I agree with Joe on this one. Bobby Lashley's going to take the loss, and they're going to keep the belt on Seth freaking Rollins.
All right, guys. Well, there you have it. And this is a short edition of HWR's, and we want to thank you for waiting for that 1 hour delay. We apologize, but Thanksgiving's right around the corner, of course, and then we're all doing preps and stuff. So for the hardcore crew, I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving, and please be sure to like and subscribe to the HWR show. We also, don't forget, we're over in the chat room, over in the group page. That's HWR chat room. I'm going to give a good shout out to our good friends, Mr. and Mrs. A, over at BC Games and more. And then finally, Joe, you're over at Skeldon Realms. Tell everybody about it.
Definitely. Well, if you want the show to go longer, I can do 50 more rants, and we'll keep going. We'll go until Christmas. But
That's Joe at SkeldonRealms.com.
I didn't even say anything. Well, yeah, earlier with Mrs. Threesome and her belt coming ability, they should make her do that film. Honestly, Yeah, let me just go quick. One quick thing, Rick. Have you noticed that these celebrities do a sex tape, and then they magically wonder why it gets leaked out? Maybe you shouldn't put it somewhere where people can hack your systems. Morons.
Well, it's not even hacked. It's
They put it themselves, probably.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they put it themselves, but they have their significant other saying, well, I got a copy of this, so I'm sending that shit down. So once relationships go south, that's going to happen. You want to have a sex tape? Fine. Make sure it's on a VHS.
Yeah.
Holy, or a DVD or something that nobody can, and lock it in a vault or something, because Lord knows it just gets out there. But again, everybody check me out. Just do the hashtag Skuldrins Realm. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and I do games from today to yesterday, from PC to console. It is fun. I just got WWE 2K22. It's kind of clunky, but it's, like I said, I need to really learn the game. And there is a new game if you like horror theme games. We all seen games like Bigfoot. We all seen games like Dead by Daylight. Well, this is a first-person perspective. It is about alien abduction. So if you've seen some of those movies where they talk about alien abduction and it's a horror theme, this is it. And it's like, I'm going to say the name real quick, is They Are Here. It is a demo right now on Steam. It is a freaking scary jump scare type game. Be prepared for it. I will try to do my best on Friday to play this game, but I tried a little bit, and man, my nerves were wrecked.
All right, Lance, over at Lance Moss TV. What do you got going?
Well, every Tuesday night I go live on Lance Moss TV and friends. We never know who's going to show up. It's at 7:05 Central, 8:05 Eastern. But there is a episode of Redneck Gourmet coming up this Friday. So after you're all done with your Black Friday shopping, at 12:30 Central, 1:30 Eastern, and whatever else time zone, wherever else that is, you do the math. There will be an episode of Redneck Gourmet where I am doing biscuit crust pizza.
Oh, I can't wait. All right, so there you have it. So for the Hardcore Crew, I'm your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.
Buy this shirt!